The Wrecking Crew was a name that evolved in talking about our defense, and there was quite an evolution in that. Going back, I can take it all the way back to 1974. We finished second in the nation in defense. In '75, we were the #1 defense in college football.
Cagney's pass is intercepted by Hayes. He returns it 18 yards.
A&M fans appreciated defense, knew what good defense was. Fast forward, we went on through the late '70s, had some good defensive teams. Pat Thomas, Robert Jackson, Lester Hayes, just some of the greats in the history of Texas A&M football played during that time. I go back to the very start of the modern Wrecking Crew to a game we played in Fayetteville about 1984. We played Arkansas up here on a cold, wet, miserable day. And we turned the ball over, I think, 7 or 8 times on offense, and it was just miserable conditions. I talked to the team. We'd go along the sideline. We had those capes on, and we had guys on the sideline with their capes pulled down. They didn't want any more of what was going on out there.
Down to the end zone, a great catch by Bobby Joe Edmonds for 2 points. So now Arkansas makes it 21-0 with 7 minutes and 36 seconds left to go in the third quarter.
2 weeks later, we go to Austin and beat Texas in Austin. The next week, we beat TCU here, knocked them out. That year, they were going to win the conference. That kind of got us turned around. And we came back and 85, 86, 87, and they were really good on defense.
Thomas still with the ball, and he pitches the ball, and the ball is loose, and here comes everybody from Texas A&M.
Every now and then you get a chance to be a part of something special, and I think I came to A&M right at the right time, right when that special was about to happen.
The more confidence we got, the more the attitude grew. And I think with the guys that we had leading the team, Kevin Murray, Chet Brooks, and those guys, and the confidence that they exuded just went throughout the whole team.
Chet Brooks was on defense at that time, and he somehow made the comment about we're just like a bunch of workers going to work wearing our hard hats, and we go in there and just wreck stuff.
During that time, a lot of other teams had great names for their defenses, and I just felt like, we needed one. It was after one of our Monday night practices, as best I can remember, me, Wallace, Lafayette, Turner, a couple other guys maybe. People have made up a bunch of different stories about it, but it popped up out of the blue because we wreck shop. I mean, we dared people to run and we begged people to pass, and the name stuck.
It's going to be intercepted by the Aggies at the 17-yard line.
As the Wrecking Crew started going, I told the defensive coaches, I said, this is a good opportunity for us. So when you're doing an interview and talking about our defense, instead of saying our defense, let's talk about the Wrecking Crew.
We started bringing in a lot of talent. The guys that came behind us, there was so many All-Americans and, extraordinary players to where, we could get those type of guys. I'd like to think that the original Wrecking Crew had an influence on that.
It was a real recruiting plus for us because we had kids, we had such a reputation that they actually wanted to come be a part of the crew.
You were lucky to get on the field, and if you get hurt or something, you might not never get back on it. And it was just that type of atmosphere. With the group that we brought in, we kind of put A&M defense on the map, and I mean, we kind of made playing football cool at A&M, I think.
Coach Slocum was a stickler for details with the defense and knowing your assignment, your adjustments, where's your alignment, and making sure that you got that right every play. We had backup players that, that should have been starting on that team or some other team, with their level of play.
2 different times in the 90s, we had the longest home winning streak in college football in the whole country. We went 4 years there. I had one class of players that when they were here, They never lost a conference game their 4 years in school.
The energy was high, the confidence was high, and you just had a lot of guys just flying around, getting to the ball, having fun playing football.
You know, we went out to, we would just demolish offenses. And we were good to get some good teams and good players. You know, the Heisman Trophy winner is supposed to be, they give that award to the best offensive player in the country, and we played several of those guys. None of them had good days against the Aggies. We went out in '90, we played in the Holiday Bowl in San Diego. They had the Heisman Trophy winner. I think it was 65-14 was the final score.
We shut down Bo Jackson.
There's the handoff to Jackson. He did not make it. He is stopped at the line of scrimmage at the 2. And the Aggie fans just go absolutely bonkers.
And then we got Tim Brown, and we also got Andre Ware. And it was just a testament to the guys we had.
It was really competitive out there, but I've never met a coaching staff that didn't allow us to rest on what we had accomplished.
People remember what a factor the defense, the wrecking crew was in games, and they remember that well.
I came back and I went back to campus to get my degree, and they were still talking about the wrecking crew, and I was wondering, I said, this thing is really taking on a thing of its own. I mean, I'd like to think that I helped create something that had lasted this long, I guess 30 years maybe.
That style of defense coupled with the loudness and just the intimidating kind of an atmosphere, people hated to come play here.